Mr. Morris, you're here because you say certain facts have come to light and make you believe that you fathered one of Miss Thorpe's twins and not the other. You claim a botched home DNA test separated you from your daughter, London, and you intend to rectify that issue today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, folks, camera, lights, action. Judge Lake is laying it out. This man, Mr. Morris, thinks he fathered one twin, but not the other? Seriously? Off a botched home DNA test, no less. And Ms. Thorpe is calling his claim ridiculous, insisting he's the father of both Paris and London. She says his little scheme blew up in his face. This is already pure paternity court gold, people.
Mr. Morris, what do you mean you're the father of one twin and not the other? Explain.
Exactly how it sounds. Originally, I was believed that both of them was mine. Over time, certain circumstances made me feel like neither were mine.
Whoa, wait a minute. Mr. Morris just doubled down. He's telling Judge Lake he's only the father of London, not Paris. He admits he used to think both were his, but circumstances changed his mind. Circumstances? What kind of circumstances magically unfathers a child, especially a twin? The audacity is just, wow, make it make sense. This is shaping up to be quite the spectacle, everyone.
I was seeing another guy time that me and Antoine was talking, but the time matched up to Antoine being the father of both of my kids. Before anything, we were friends, so I don't even understand why he's even putting me through this. I told Antoine that I wanted to be in a relationship with him, and he turned me down because he was still in love with the mother of his other child.
Get this! Ms. Thorpe admits she was seeing another guy around the same time. But wait, she still insists Mr. Morris is the father of both twins because the timing matches up for him, apparently. She also throws in that he turned her down because he was still hung up on his other child's mother. So rejection leads to revenge relations? This is unbelievable storytelling, folks.
Honestly, just one day I was in a local drugstore and out of the blue, I know it sounds crazy, but this DNA test was just sticking out, and like everything else was just like black. I'm like, what the?
Okay, Mr. Morris, explain yourself. He saw a home DNA test at the drugstore, bought it on a whim, went home without telling Ms. Thorpe, and swabbed himself, one twin, and then used the mother's swab on the other twin. He did what now? He just randomly decided to play scientist behind her back using a drugstore kit? Absolutely staggering lack of sense displayed here.
How do they come back?
0% probability.
But you do understand that you didn't even use the swabs right.
I would just hope, I don't know. Like I said, so.
No, you don't.
I didn't.
No, I mean, the truth is you don't. You was making something up.
But everything was just confusing.
Hold everything. Judge Lake just read him the riot act. You don't use the mother's swab on the second child. That's not how genetics work, my friend. You messed up the entire test. He's standing there looking confused like the instructions were in ancient Sumerian. This man thought he cracked the code, but he couldn't even follow basic hit directions. Peak absurdity achieved, people. Absolutely peak.
No, Your Honor, I was at work at the time. He actually texted me and told me that the DNA test came back and that the twins were not his. At the time, I didn't respond automatically because, like I said, I was at work. So he ended up getting very upset and ended up posting it all over social media and telling everybody. He posted all over social media and told everybody that the DNA test came back and that the kids were not his.
And the plot thickens, if you can believe it. Ms. Thorpe reveals he didn't just botch the test, he texted her the bogus results while she was at work, got mad when she didn't respond immediately, and then blasted it all over social media, telling everyone the twins weren't his based on his completely bungled test. The level of impulsive foolishness is genuinely off the charts here, folks.
And I had got sent a picture of my youngest daughter now, and it was side by side with London. I feel like they look just alike.
Judge Lake isn't playing. She's showing side-by-side pictures. Mr. Morris's other daughter, Naraya, next to London, and then Naraya next to Paris. She's pointing out the family resemblance, especially with London looking just like Naraya. You can see the wheels turning, maybe? Or is it just more confusion? He even had two women pregnant simultaneously. What a guy. This courtroom drama is wild.
What kind of relationship do you have with the twins now?
Great.
They call you daddy?
No.
They're 4.
They call me Uncle Twan.
Uncle Twan?
Yes.
Boy, you about crazy. You just got too much going on. You done gone through all this only for the children to now call you Uncle Twan?
Ooh, there's more. So Mr. Morris claims his relationship with the kids is excellent, but they call him Uncle Twan. Uncle. Now, if you're absolutely floored, well, so am I. I mean, if their mom was so sure the twins were Mr. Morris's, why have them call him Uncle? Now, apparently, they asked if he was their dad, and she told them no. Messed up stuff.
4 years old and have to sit up and ask 2 grown adults, is somebody my daddy? Baby's got more sense than the mama and the daddy. Why, Miss Thorpe, would you look at these 2 girls and you say you know for certain Mr. Morris is their biological father?
Here we go. The moment of truth is finally upon us. Judge Lake has the official, properly conducted DNA results right there in that envelope. Look at their faces. Mr. Morris looks nervous, maybe realizing how badly he messed up. Ms. Thorpe looks like she's trying to stay composed, but knows this could go sideways. The tension is palpable. Which twin, if any, is his?
This first result is for Harry. In the case of Morris versus Thorpe, when it comes to 4-year-old Harris Morris, Mr. Morris, you are not the father.
Ms. Lopez, you are here today because you claim the defendant, Mr. Carbajal, allegedly perpetuated a DNA testing scam to try to deny paternity of your kids.
All right, people, fasten your seatbelts. Right out of the gate, we have Ms. Lopez accusing Mr. Carbajal of faking a DNA test. A whole DNA testing scam? Seriously? She says he's trying to deny paternity of her 2 kids, and she needs the truth today because she's struggling alone. The drama starts immediately. This sounds absolutely wild already. What is happening in this courtroom today?
Now, Mr. Carbajal, you say the plaintiff has left your life in ruins by fraudulently claiming you are the father of her children. You argue that you did not perpetrate a DNA testing scam.
Now hold on. Mr. Carbajal fires back, claiming she left his life in ruins. What? He insists he did not perpetrate any DNA testing scam and is here to prove it. So, one says scam, the other says life ruined by fraudulent claims. Wow. We have accusations flying from both sides before we even get the backstory. This is shaping up to be pure mayhem.
She told me, hey, come see me, you know, for the weekend or just one night. So I want to go see her. And that day that I want to go see her, we basically had sex that first night.
It was not that
yes,
first night.
It was.
No,
yes, it
no,
was
it
the first
wasn't.
night. Yes,
No.
it was. Yes, it was.
No, it was not.
Yeah, whatever.
Get this, Mr. Carbajal says they met online, he visited, and boom, sex the very first night. But Ms. Lopez shouts, no, it wasn't. He insists, she denies. Back and forth they go. Who is telling the truth here? Did they or didn't they seal the deal immediately? It's a classic, he said, she said already, and we're barely past introductions. Isn't that something?
Your Honor, after I found out I was pregnant, he did not have anything to say. We talked later, and he was still in shock, telling me that he didn't want to have a baby with someone he did not love.
Okay, the plot thickens. Ms. Lopez claims when she revealed her pregnancy, he was completely shocked. Apparently, he told her he didn't want a baby with someone he did not love. Ouch, that's cold. So, not only is paternity questioned, but there was apparently no deep affection involved either. According to her, this relationship sounds like a roller coaster heading straight downhill, folks.
He says he's the father. He's even had her name tattooed on his arm. He was there a
You
week.
have her name
Yes, I
tattooed
do, Your
on your
Honor.
arm?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Even though you doubt it?
Because when she was first born, I was attached to her.
Are you kidding me? Judge Lake asks Mr. Carbajal if he has his daughter Aliana's name tattooed on him, and he says yes. He doubts she's his, but he got the tattoo anyway because he was attached when she was born. Make it make sense. You doubt paternity enough to be in court, but not enough to skip the permanent ink tribute? Pure foolishness.
Made you doubt?
She was the picture.
No, there was another man.
There
that
was not another man.
She showed my sister Miriam.
He was a friend
picture
of mine.
a guy, and my sister took picture of her phone.
He was a
because
friend of mine,
that
Your
guy
Honor.
looked exactly like.
No.
So
Rihanna.
you were showing pictures in your phone
She was
of
showing
a
my
guy
sister.
to your sister.
Yeah.
Whoa, Mr. Carbajal's sister jumps in, claiming Ms. Lopez showed her a picture on her phone of another man. And apparently, this mystery man looks exactly like the daughter, Aliana. Ms. Lopez quickly says he was just a friend who happens to be the child's look-alike? How convenient. The sister even took pictures of the picture. This is getting messy, everyone.
That has nothing to do with genes from you
My
guys.
family does not have
Your
a
Honor,
history of cleft lip.
It doesn't
Well, you
matter.
Whether it's my mom or my dad's side.
Listen, let's get some order. So you have an issue regarding the fact that he has a cleft lip.
Yeah.
You say no one in your family has ever been born.
Whoa, hold up. Mr. Carbajal says they received a picture of another guy holding the little baby. Ms. Lopez said she sent the picture out of spite, basically. She also said she wanted to show that somebody else would potentially step up and fulfill the roles Mr. Carbajal and family refused. Besides, she didn't even meet up with her ex until a month before delivery. Very helpful testimony, Ms. Lopez.
Of the kid.
He did a paternity test that he bought from the store. I did not know about it until he gave me the results that came back.
So you took a home, and at home,
Off the counter. We bought
DNA
it.
test.
Yes, my mom bought it off the counter. They came with swabbing things, you know?
Okay, so it came with all of the utensils,
Yes,
everything
and then
you
paperwork.
needed.
Okay, here's the alleged scam. Ms. Lopez says Mr. Carbajal did an at-home DNA test he bought from a store. She didn't even know about it until he gave her the results. He claims his mom bought it. They swabbed him and the kids, filled out the paperwork, and sent it in. An off-the-counter test with potentially fudged paperwork? That's certainly one way to try it.
Results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Lopez versus Carbajal, when it comes to 2-year-old Aliana Lopez-Carbajal,
It's results time. Judge Lake has the envelope for the first child, 2-year-old Aliana. You can feel the tension radiating off these people. Ms. Lopez looks incredibly anxious. Mr. Carbajal is trying to keep a straight face, but you know his heart must be pounding. The moment of truth is here for daughter number 1. Who is going to be proven right? This is intense.
Mr. Carbajal, you are not her father. Okay, now we have the answers for Aliana. We still have to get Noah.
My mom wouldn't have spent.
Ms. Renfrow, you claim you are 100% certain that the defendant is the father of your 6-month-old son, Kendall. You say Kendall was born with a serious medical condition.
All right, people, are you ready? Renfrow versus Tuzi is hitting the court. She's absolutely certain he fathered her 6-month-old son, Kendall, who sadly has a serious medical condition. She claims it's genetic, pointing the finger straight at Mr. Tuzi. He says, no way. This is going to be intense, folks. The results are critical for this little guy's future. What a start.
Mr. Tuzi, you are certain you are not her child's biological father and say the truth will be revealed today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Mr. Tuzi is denying paternity, and Ms. Renfrow immediately claims it's because he doesn't want financial responsibility. Classic deflection. She paints him as completely absent, not there during pregnancy, birth, or even the baby's surgery. Just ghosted her completely, ignoring all contact. Is he truly avoiding responsibility, or is there more to this story? The plot thickens incredibly fast here.
So you're saying, Ms. Renfrow, that Mr. Tuzi hasn't shown any care, concern about—
He's never even seen my son.
Your Honor, I seen him one time. I went over her house one time and that was it, and I realized the baby just don't look nowhere near like me.
Okay, the Contradiction Express is leaving the station. She dramatically states he's never even seen his alleged son. But wait, Mr. Tuzi immediately counters, admitting he visited exactly once. One time. According to him, that single visit was enough because, again, the baby don't look nowhere near like me. The disagreement over basic facts is already off the charts. Whose story holds water?
Admit you have not stepped up to the plate for the baby because you truly don't believe this child is your child.
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, I looked at the baby. Look, the baby looks way too white.
Hold everything. Did this man seriously just use the baby looks too white card? Are you kidding me right now? Sir, the mother is literally Caucasian. That's his groundbreaking evidence? Does he even understand basic biology? Genetics are complex, sure, but reducing paternity doubts to skin tone is just peak absurdity. This is wild, absolutely wild reasoning. Make it make sense, people.
My son has a issue with his stomach. He was born with what you call Hirschberger's disease, and it's passed through genetic. And none of my other kids have it. I had sex with him, I got pregnant, and my son had to have surgery at 6 days old. He had to have part of his intestine removed.
Get this explanation. Ms. Renfrow claims her poor son has Hirschsprung's disease, a serious stomach issue requiring surgery at just 6 days old, and she firmly believes it was passed down genetically from Mr. Tuzi. She's leaning hard on this genetic angle, saying none of her other kids have it. Is this a medical fact or a strategic play? Wow.
I don't know who his dad is because of the issues he has with his health, and he just needs to take responsibility for his child.
Were you intimate with anybody else during
Ms. Renfrow unleashes the waterworks, crying about the troubles of her son's life. But Mr. Tuzi has one question. Why did another guy sign the birth certificate? The masterclass response from Ms. Renfrow is that her ex stepped up and took responsibility when Mr. Tuzi went AWOL. He loves her son, takes him to the hospital and whatnot. Why then run back to Mr. Tuzi if you don't need him, madam?
There was like somebody that she slept with around time, but it was, you know, she was protected.
Hold on, don't gloss over that. Don't talk so fast.
Sorry.
You said there was a guy she had slept with during the time.
Well, it was a little before she got pregnant.
Whoa, plot twist courtesy of the best friend. She confirms Ms. Renfrow was sleeping with someone else around that time. The same guy who apparently signed the birth certificate. But wait, there's more. They supposedly used protection, and it was just one time. Oh, the classic one-time defense. Does anyone actually buy that anymore? This is getting messier by the second.
True.
Stuff happens.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Ms.
Stuff happens.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, Ms. Renfrow. Come on out. You're getting a whole nother little attitude now. I want to see it. So you say stuff happens?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it sure does. It sure does.
That ain't my baby.
Stuff happens. Did she really just say, stuff happens, after being confronted about sleeping with another man around the time of conception? Judge Lake is not having it. The attitude shift is staggering. One minute she's the determined mother, the next she's nonchalant about potential infidelity. The audacity is simply breathtaking. This courtroom is pure chaos right now, everyone. Pure chaos.
That don't mean nothing. I use the condom, so there is no other option to you.
But you was sleeping around though.
I wasn't sleeping around. If we wasn't together, it don't matter who I was sleeping with.
Hey, hold up. Ms. Renfrow dropping some absolutely batshit insane logic here. After her friend's slip about how she was seeing another guy within the same conception window as she conceived Kendall, she puts up what she sadly thinks is an amazing defense by saying it never mattered who she was intimate with, as they were not together. She was together with Mr. Tuzi, and therefore he has to be the father of her kid. Socrates has got nothing on this lady.
So, for the result, either way.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Jerome, let's get the truth. Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows.
Okay, folks, the air is thick with tension. Jerome is handing Judge Lake the results. This is it. The DNA results hold the answers. Will Mr. Tuzi be proven the father, validating Ms. Renfrow's claims and potentially her genetic theory? Or will his doubts, fueled by skin color observations and her past actions, be confirmed? Everyone hold your breath. This is judgment time.
Mr. Tuzi, you are not the father.
Yes!
Oops.
Told you!
Oops. Calm down, Mr. Tuzi. Calm down.
You confess that at the time you conceived your 2-year-old son, Josiah, you had sexual relations with 3 men. Now, you don't want your son to suffer for your mistakes, so you've requested paternity testing.
Okay, people, buckle up. Lauren Lake's Paternity Court is starting strong today. Right out the gate, Ms. Hatcher confesses she needs tests for 3 potential fathers for her 2-year-old son, Josiah. 3! She doesn't want her son suffering for her choices. But goodness, what a tangled situation already. This is going to be quite the journey, folks. Let's see how this absolute mess unfolds right now.
Yes, Your Honor. At the time, I had sex with 3 different men around the same time my son conceived. I did have a 5.5-month fling with Mr. Scott, and I also had...
No, Your Honor, that is not true.
Time to listen carefully, I guess. Ms. Hatcher calmly explains she had a 5.5-month fling with Mr. Scott around conception time. But wait, Mr. Scott immediately jumps in. No, Your Honor, that is not true. It was just sex, period. Oh, the drama. He argues that's not a fling to him. Semantics in paternity court? Can you believe this guy? Make it make sense. What is he even arguing?
I also had a 7.5-year relationship with my ex, and I had a one-night stand with him around the time. And I also had a one-night stand with Mr. Blake. I have a calendar right here.
Oh, that will help us. Jerome, please.
In addition to her relationship with Mr. Scott, she had a 7.5-year relationship with her ex and had a one-night stand with him, and also had a one-night stand with Mr. Blake. Jesus, that's an absolutely insane work rate. I mean, if the conception window is a few days, and there are 3 possible candidates for the paternity of the child, she had intercourse with 3 men almost one after the other? Did somebody ever mention fidelity to this woman?
How much did he pay?
Excuse me, Mr. Scott. You're gonna be respectful in this courtroom.
Your Honor, this is him. He is a disrespectful man. He is very ignorant. He's all that to me and my son. Just recently, he knows that we don't have a working refrigerator and a stove, and he comes over to my house.
Whoa, Mr. Scott just completely lost it, asking about Mr. Sneed. How much did he pay? Seriously? Judge Lake shuts that down immediately, demanding respect. Then Ms. Hatcher fires back, calling Mr. Scott disrespectful and ignorant, saying, "This is just how he is." What a display. Accusations are flying, tempers flaring, and we're barely past introductions. This courtroom is pure chaos already, everyone. Absolutely wild behavior on display.
At what point did you begin to doubt whether or not you were Josiah's biological father?
Had a situation where we had to go to court. She said in open court, we need to get a DNA test because she was in fear that I was going to try to take
And
Josiah
in your
from
mind,
her.
that was the first time. Hold on.
I was in fear.
That was the first
That's
time
the first time
you
that I
ever
ever
questioned
heard
paternity.
question when she mentioned
Okay,
DNA.
That's a lie,
hold
Your
on,
Honor.
hold on,
That's
hold
a
on.
lie.
So, Mr. Scott explains he only learned about other potential fathers when Ms. Hatcher mentioned needing a DNA test during a heated argument in open court previously. Imagine finding out like that. Ms. Hatcher admits she made a mistake, thinking she conceived later. What a bombshell to drop in court. The lack of communication here is staggering. How did things get this confusing? This is pure foolishness, honestly.
We got a hotel room that night. Possibility it could be mine. If it's mine, I don't have a problem taking care of
Was
mine.
it protect sex on that day?
We had a little alcohol, but I think so, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Hatcher, do you remember whether or not you two used protection when you...
Yes, I do.
Enter Mr. Blake. He claims they had a one-night stand, got a hotel room, maybe had some drinks, but he thinks they used protection. He's hoping the child isn't his, but will step up if needed. Ms. Hatcher confirms the encounter. So many casual encounters resulting in this major life event. Mr. Blake seems less certain than Mr. Scott, but still playing the doubt card. Quite the performance.
I had moved from a house to having a car to a apartment with no stove, no working refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? And this man, you know he's homeless, and I let him stay out of my house at night. I don't want him to be my baby's father because he's 43 years old. He don't want to work.
But you slept with him without protection.
Things get incredibly sad here. Ms. Hatcher details being homeless, living without a working fridge or stove, and claims Mr. Scott, despite knowing this, continues his nasty attitude. She even let him stay over sometimes. Then Mr. Scott interrupts, claiming he stopped helping once he doubted paternity. The level of pettiness is off the charts. Where is the concern for the child's well-being, folks?
I don't do nothing.
You've done it to me. I'm the one who signed the birth certificate that might not be mine. The two other dudes you slept with. Be honest with me.
Guys, calm down, please.
Truth be told, when this man stepped up and signed the birth certificate, then really that should have been, that's it. Because that's what babies deserve. Their mother and their father in the hospital, when they're born, signing the birth certificate and living their life. Not 2 years later, still sitting up here arguing.
Judge Lake has had enough. She slams the gavel, demanding order and respect, especially from Mr. Scott. She reminds everyone this court is about the child, Josiah, not their petty squabbles and disrespect towards each other. It's about loving Josiah more than they dislike one another. Finally, someone focusing on the actual victim in this whole debacle. This is what it's really about, everyone.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. Mr. Sneed was unable to join us today, but he has been tested. In the case of Hatcher v. Scott, Blake Sneed, pertaining to whether Mr. Sneed is the biological father of 2-year-old Josiah Scott, Mr. Sneed.
All right, here we go. Judge Lake has the DNA results, prepared by DDC. The tension is sky high. She's about to read the verdict for Mr. Sneed first. The ex who wasn't even present, Ms. Hatcher, looks incredibly anxious, hoping, praying it's not Mr. Scott. You can feel the weight of this moment. Who will be excluded first? The anticipation is almost too much. This is it, the beginning of the end.
You are the...
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You happy?
Thank you. That means he has my name and I don't have to change it.
Right.
Thank you.
Miss Serfozo, you call your daughter, Sinity, you'd never have kids. Born, she had 3 possible fathers, including Mr. Miller.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, hold everything. We are kicking things off with a real head spinner today, people. Ms. Serfozo here calls her daughter a miracle baby because doctors supposedly told her kids were impossible. But wait, it gets wilder. This miracle apparently arrived with 3 potential fathers in the mix, including Mr. Miller right here. 3! How does that even happen? This is already setting up to be absolute madness.
You agree that happened?
No, ma'am, I have no...
You have not? So how do you remember this guy?
I vaguely remember meeting her at my family member's house at a party. I was partying a lot and I don't remember.
They said
Whoa, pump the brakes. Ms. Serfozo says they had unprotected relations, but Mr. Miller is pulling the I don't remember card? Seriously? He claims other people told him it happened upstairs at a party, but he has zero recollection himself. How convenient. Is this genuine memory loss from partying, or is someone trying very hard to distance himself from potential fatherhood? This is already getting questionable.
The reason we had broken to my best friend, I caught my best friend I found.
Okay, so he started sleeping with your best friend, so you found somebody?
Yes, Your Honor.
There was no us to begin.
But you do remember moving on and sleeping with her friend?
Make it make sense. So Ms. Serfozo was dating Mr. Miller, but then catches him cheating with her best friend. Then, because of that heartbreak, she immediately goes and finds another man to get involved with around the same time, and Mr. Miller is insanely deep in this tangled web too. My mind is completely blown by this level of relationship chaos.
Now, Ms. Dreyer, what did you find?
Okay, she never texted me or him or anybody to start with. In December of 2000, I was talking to my ex who had ended up with Mr. Serfozo. Says, well, you know, I'm here with Michael's baby.
This is pure television drama, everyone. Get this, Mr. Miller's fiancée, Ms. Dreyer, finds out about this whole baby situation from her ex-boyfriend, who apparently also dated Ms. Serfozo after her other boyfriend cheated. And this ex tells Ms. Dreyer that the baby is Michael's. Are you following this? It's like a soap opera plot written by the most caffeinated scriptwriter in 80s Hollywood.
August, when the time was supposed to happen, I was in South Carolina, and I have a ticket right here to prove that I got in August.
Jerome, hand me that.
So in August, God for a whole week, well, nobody knew.
No, I was not.
Oh, here we go with the proof. Mr. Miller dramatically presents a speeding ticket. Yes, a speeding ticket from South Carolina, claiming this proves he couldn't possibly be the father because he was out of town during conception. A speeding ticket? Is that really the best defense you have? As if conception happens on one specific day known only to traffic courts? Absolutely staggering defense strategy.
All the child support in Ohio. They had never even heard from her.
So your contention is we're not trying to duck or dodge any responsibility.
No, ma'am, I'm not.
We have
If I'm
7
the dad,
kids already.
I will step up.
He takes care of my 4 plus his 3. Does that sound like a deadbeat to you?
She has
Your Honor.
4,
And he takes
and
care
I
of all
take
of
care of
them.
them.
The plot thickens, folks. Ms. Dreyer is calling Ms. Serfozo out. Apparently, Ms. Serfozo contacted child support, but deliberately gave them the wrong address for Mr. Miller, making it impossible for them to actually serve him or pursue the case initially. Is this woman trying to secure support, or just trying to make life difficult? Keeping track of the alleged manipulation here is a full-time job.
I've been in denial. I do not want my Mr. Miller being my child's father because as in the past, he left me for my best friend.
There was no us to begin with, so how could I leave you?
Okay, but hold on. You made a point that I think is valid.
This is for my daughter.
Hold on, did I hear that right? Ms. Serfozo is now crying, saying she doesn't even want Mr. Miller to be the father because she can't stand dealing with his fiancée, Ms. Dreyer, but she absolutely needs to know for her miracle baby. So, is this about the child's well-being or about the drama with the fiancé? The motivation seems incredibly tangled up in personal feelings here.
Do what I can.
In light of that,
I did say together when he
just like he was up there the weekend before.
He was there March 7th.
No, he wasn't.
Yes,
still.
All right, the moment of truth is almost here. Judge Lake has the results. Mr. Miller and Ms. Dreyer are standing there, hoping for vindication, clinging to that speeding ticket defense. Ms. Serfozo is looking tearful, still talking about her miracle baby and needing answers. The tension is thick. Who is right? Who is wrong? Is anyone telling the whole truth? Let's finally get these answers, people.
Trinity Plaza, Mr. Miller, you are not her father.
Told you. Thank God, thank God.
So now where's the other myth?
Here it is. The results are in. Judge Lake opens the envelope. Mr. Miller, in the case of 1-year-old Cynite, you are not the father. Told you. Relief washes over Mr. Miller and Ms. Dreyer. Pure vindication. Ms. Serfozo breaks down. Wow. After all that insistence, all the tears about him being the one, he's cleared. Now the search continues for the actual father. What an ending.
I'm glad he's not. Glad, Willie, that he's not father. I'm sorry that I had to put him. I just want to know who her father.
I have to ask you, do you know who your child's father?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
You know, people to come in this courtroom and I want them to lay it on the line for a child and I want them to tell the truth. And that was an ugly truth. You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Degs versus Garren.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. Mr. Deggs, you are here today hoping you are the biological father of the defendant's 3-year-old son, Jason. You have petitioned the court for paternity test because you claim your ex
Okay, folks, let's dive into this paternity court roller coaster. We have Mr. Degs, who hopes he's the dad to 3-year-old Jason. Judge Lake is laying it all out. Jason thought he was the father, but 6 months later, his ex, Ms. Garren, drops a bombshell. Maybe not. He's praying for a win today. The stage is set for some serious courtroom drama, everyone.
And my best friend at the time pulled me aside and told me him and my brother had both slept with Megan.
What?
I was hurt.
They both.
Your Honor, he cheated in the very beginning of our relationship. It was even before we were a month together.
Ms. Garren,
when he first cheated.
boy, before you get to what he did, I want to know, is it true?
Yes, it is true. I do admit that I did do those things. I did cheat on him with his best friend and his brother.
Please hold up, I beg you. Did he just say his best friend and his brother? Seriously? This woman apparently went through the entire inner circle. The absolute audacity is staggering. How do you even begin to process that level of betrayal from someone you supposedly loved? My mind is completely blown right now. This is pure chaos unfolding before our very eyes. Make it make sense, people.
And at the time, I was lacking affection from him. He was never home. He was always...
I work, Your Honor. I work full time to make sure that her nails and her hair get done.
After he would get off work, he never came home.
Get this excuse. Ms. Garren admits she cheated with his best friend and brother, but blames Jason for lacking affection because he worked too much? Are you kidding me? So paying the bills and working full-time is grounds for betrayal with your closest connections now? This logic is absolutely wild. What is actually going through her mind? Is this the sympathy card she's playing? Incredible.
So after he slept with, all right, you two might not know how to respect each other outside courtroom. But in this courtroom, we must remain respectful.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now,
Whoa, Jason just exploded, calling her out directly. Can you blame him after hearing she slept with his friend and brother? Judge Lake had to step in quick, and the judge points out Ms. Garren waited 6 months after the baby was born to hint Jason might not be the dad. 6 months of letting him bond. That's just cold calculation, not confusion.
He was hurt, Ms. Garren.
I'm not the only one that cheated in this
I had a rough childhood.
I know,
I've had to deal with so many different women.
But you're the one that here with a paternity issue regarding the child in question, and you're the one that slept with his brother.
Okay, this reaches peak absurdity. Ms. Garren claims the only reason she waited 6 months to confess was because she wanted the family united after sleeping with his brother and best friend? How does that compute? She purposefully deceived him for months, letting him connect with the child, then pulls this. This isn't wanting a family. This sounds more like manipulation 101. Wow.
The women that you
no,
love
you
to
love
go
your
hang
free
out with
time
more
and hanging
than
out
your
with this
son.
dude here because
No.
you left Jason for 3 months
Why?
with your
Because
mom
he
and
can
me so
provide
that I
better.
could take care of
Because
him
he can
and you
love.
take daycare. What will you guys do? You guys move.
Let's get some order.
I just want to state that I have never ever left my son and abandoned him ever.
Now she's questioning his ability to provide after he worked constantly, which she used as her excuse for cheating. And look, here comes the new boyfriend, Mr. Felton, presented like some kind of savior figure. The narrative she's spinning is just unbelievable. Jason is defending himself, rightfully so, against these cooked-up claims while she brings in her replacement. What a performance by Ms. Garren.
Is your money?
I never ever
bad.
said
And she was like, you know, all I wanted money. All you
I
need
made
to do
my
is go
own
to
money,
work.
honey.
And you saw these texts.
Megan did not like me from the gate.
I never
Why?
lied
I don't
about
know.
her.
I don't know. I really don't. I never had a run-in with her. I never said nothing rude to her. I wasn't
How can
nasty
I
towards
not
her.
like somebody I
and it was
didn't
just-
know?
The plot thickens. Jason's ex-girlfriend, Dominique Marshall, is on the stand, claiming Megan texted Jason saying, "All I want is your money." Of course, Megan denies it immediately. But with everything else we've heard, does anyone find that text hard to believe? It certainly paints a picture of questionable motives, doesn't it? The layers to this mess just keep piling up, folks.
Okay, what do you want from this, Ms. Garren? Do you want Mr. Degs to be the father?
For me right now, no, I do not want Jason to be the father because every weekend it's drama. It's another girl.
Mr. Degs, what do you want?
Here we go. The moment of truth is almost upon us. Judge Lake asks Megan straight up what she wants. Her answer? She doesn't want Jason to be the father because of all the drama. The drama she arguably ignited by sleeping with his brother and best friend. Conveniently forgetting her role, I see. The tension is high as Judge Lake prepares the results.
And if he's not?
If he's not, then it's going to be really hard for me.
Jerome, I think it's time for the results.
Here you go, Your Honor.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. In the case of Degs versus Garren, when it comes to baby Jason Degs, Mr. Deggs.
The results are in. Judge Lake delivers the verdict. Mr. Deggs, you are not the father. Oh, Jason completely collapses, absolutely devastated. And Megan, a slight smirk? Seriously? Judge Lake isn't having it, immediately calling her out for deceiving him. What a brutal ending for Jason, who genuinely seemed to love that child. Absolutely gut-wrenching to watch his reaction. Pure heartbreak, everyone.
You are not the father.
And that's for the best. Honestly, it's for the best because he has only stayed this long so that he could get whatever benefit he's getting out of it.